What? A real father? Yes, so long as he pays me. You'll honor and believe him, that's right. What is his name? Major Cavalcanti. Is he pleased with you? So far I have appeared to answer his purpose. And who found this father for you? The Count of Monte Cristo. The man whose house you have just left? Yes. I wish you would try and find me a situation with him as grandfather, since he holds the money chest. Well, I will mention you to him. Meanwhile, what are you going to do? I? Yes, you. It is very kind of you to trouble yourself about me. Since you interest yourself in my affairs, I think it is now my turn to ask you some questions. Ah, true. Well, I shall rent a room in some respectable house, wear a decent coat, shave every day, and go and read the papers in a cafe. Then, in the evening, I shall go to the theater. I shall look like some retired baker. That is what I want. Come, if you will only put this scheme into execution, and be steady, nothing could be better. Do you think so, M. Bossuet? And you, what will you become? A peer of France? Ah, said Andrea, who knows? Major Cavalcanti is already one, perhaps, but then, hereditary rank is abolished. No politics, Caderousse. And now that you have all you want, and that we understand each other, jump down from the Tilbury and disappear. Not at all, my good friend. How? Not at all? Why, just think for a moment, with this red handkerchief on my head, with scarcely any shoes, no papers, and 10 gold Napoleons in my pocket, without reckoning what was there before, making in all about 200 francs, why, I should certainly be arrested at the barriers. Then, to justify myself, I should say that you gave me the money. This would cause inquiries, it would be found that I left Toulon without giving due notice, and I should then be escorted back to the shores of the Mediterranean. Then I should become simply number 106, and goodbye to my dream of resembling the retired baker. No, no, my boy, I prefer remaining honorably in the capital. Andrea scowled. Certainly, as he had himself owned, the reputed son of Major Cavalcanti was a willful fellow. He drew up for a minute, threw a rapid glance around him, and then his hand fell instantly into his pocket, where it began playing with a pistol. But, meanwhile, Caderousse, who had never taken his eyes off his companion, passed his hand behind his back, and opened a long Spanish knife, which he always carried with him, to be ready in case of need. The two friends, as we see, were worthy of and understood one another. Andrea's hand left his pocket inoffensively, and was carried up to the red mustache, which it played with for some time. "Good Caderousse," he said, "how happy you will be." "I will do my best," said the innkeeper of the Pont du Gard, shutting up his knife. "Well, then, we will go into Paris." "But how will you pass through the barrier without exciting suspicion?" "It seems to me that you are in more danger riding than on foot." "Wait," said Caderousse, "we shall see." He then took the greatcoat with the large collar, which the groom had left behind in the tilbury, and put it on his back. Then he took off Cavalcanti's hat, which he placed upon his own head, and finally he assumed the careless attitude of a servant whose master drives himself. "But, tell me," said Andrea, "am I to remain bareheaded?" "Pooh," said Caderousse, "it is so windy that your hat can easily appear to have blown off." "Come, come, enough of this," said Cavalcanti. "What are you waiting for?" said Caderousse. "I hope I am not the cause." "Hush," said Andrea. They passed the barrier without accident. At the first cross street Andrea stopped his horse, and Caderousse leapt out. "Well?" said Andrea, "my servant's coat and my hat?" "Ah," said Caderousse, "you would not like me to risk taking cold?" "But what am I to do?" "You? Oh, you are young while I am beginning to get old." "Au revoir, Benedetto," and running into a court, he disappeared. "Alas," said Andrea, sighing, "one cannot be completely happy in this world." Chapter 65. A conjugal scene. At the place Louis XV. The three young people separated, that is to say, Morel went to the boulevards, Chateau Renaud to the Pont de la Révolution, and Debray to the quay.